So if you're going to be looking for some commercial space to lease in the near future, let's say you're a startup business and this is your first venture, or you're a well-established business and your lease expiration date is coming up, it's about time to start looking for some new properties. This video is going to run you through all the basics that you need to know kind of beforehand, before we start looking at properties, what the process looks like, and then what to expect after you sign that lease. So first off is the four corners of the LOI. The LOI is basically your offer, so we call it the letter of intent, and these four things are basically going to be the building blocks of that. So first off is the use. So who are you and what are you going to be doing in the space specifically? The reason I say specifically is because the landlord is going to be giving you full legal rights to his building. So you really can't blame him for wanting to get all the details on what exactly is happening. Are you doing retail sales? Are you manufacturing? These are the types of things that he does need to know. So secondly is going to be timing. So when are you looking to occupy, but more importantly, how long of a lease term are you looking to sign? If you're a startup business, we recommend you taking the least amount of term possible. That's due to the fact that you don't know exactly where you're going to be in the next 2 to 3 years. If you're a bigger business, let's say you manufacture or you distribute and you just have a whole lot of industrial product, it does not make a whole lot of sense for you guys to move within even 5 years. A lot of industrial tenants will take 5 to a 10-year lease because it just costs so much money to be moving. Third is going to be the tenant improvements. So what do you need from the property specifically for your use? If you're a restaurant, obviously you'll need a commercial kitchen in there. If you do hair and nails, you have a certain amount of requirements for a sink. If you're manufacturing, you need a huge amount of power. You also need to know if you're expecting the landlord to be paying for these things, or if you're willing to come to the table with a little bit of cash to make that space more of a make-ready. Fourth is going to be price. So we really can't decide price until we figure out those first 3 items. But with that being said, it's really important to come with a budget in mind. A lot of times we'll be on a tour and we find the perfect space, but then we realize that we shouldn't have been on that tour because the prospecting tenant can't even make that monthly payment. So it's really important to know that beforehand. Okay. So all of the things that you need to know beforehand. Those are the 4 corners. What does the process look like in the middle? Obviously, we'll have that offer in hand. We're going to submit that offer to the landlord. We would draft that offer in your favor with the expectation that the landlord might have something to counter back on. And that's kind of where the benefit of having a commercial broker will come into play. We'll tell you, hey, this is a good deal. This is right around where market is. Or, hey, don't take this deal, we'll go find the next one. So once all of the items in the lease are negotiated, there's just a few other things that need to take place before you can take occupancy. First off is going to be the signed lease by both parties. So both the landlord and the tenant need to execute their part of the lease. Secondly is going to be the certificate of insurance. It's basically renter's insurance for commercial properties. We do not specialize in insurance, so go ahead and reach out to your commercial insurance agent for more details on that. Lastly is going to be the security deposit and first month's rent. So the lease really is not active until we get those those first payments in, and this totals to right around 2 months of rent up front, and that's due and payable at the signing of the lease. So make sure you're prepared for that. So I do hope this video was helpful for you guys. I know it just went over the basics, but please feel free to reach out to us if you have any further questions regarding the leasing process. Always make sure to subscribe.